There are two types of object properties, the data property and the accessor property. Each property has corresponding attributes. Each attribute is accessed internally by the JavaScript engine, but you can set them through object.define property or read them through object.get own property descriptor. You can read more about various nuances on the object.define property page. So each property has attributes, and each attribute is accessed internally by JavaScript engine. So the attribute, that's the value of the key, but you can set them through object.define property. So you can use this method, object.define property, and then using the value, or read them through object.get own property descriptor. You can also read the property using the object name and get own property. Data property. Data properties are associate a key with a value. It can be described by the following attributes. Value. The value retrieved by get access of the property can be any JavaScript value. So a data property, on the other hand, a data property always associate a key with a value within an object. So it described by the following attributes. So again, each property has corresponding attributes. So for data property, here are the corresponding attributes. Value. The value retrieved by a get access of the property can be any JavaScript value. So this value are the one being returned when you access using get method. And key. Writable, another attribute, a boolean value indicating if the property can be changed with an assignment. So here, this property or this attribute return a boolean value that indicate whether a property can be changed with an assignment inside the object, because some properties in the objects are private. Enumerable, a boolean value indicating if the property can be enumerated by a for in loop. See also enumerability and ownership of properties for how enumerability interacts with other functions and syntaxes. Configurable, a boolean value indicating if the property can be deleted, can be changed to an accessor property, and can have its attributes changed. So this return a boolean value as well, part of the attributes of a data property that indicates if the property inside can be deleted. So if it's a public, if it's a private, of course you can delete it. So the boolean it will return for this enumerable will be false. See also for this configurable will be false and can be changed to an accessor property and can have its attributes changed. So if this property could be changed to an accessor properties, because remember in properties for objects we only have data property and accessor property. So here this data property configurable attribute is saying or will dictate if this data property could be interchanged with an accessor property. Now, accessor property associate the key with one of two accessor functions, get and set, to retrieve or store a value. So this accessor property associates a key inside this object with one of two accessor functions like get or set to retrieve or store a value. So this accessor is more of it's from root word where you can get or read and set or update. Note, it's important to recognize its accessor property, not accessor method. We can give a JavaScript object class like accessors by using a function as a value, but that doesn't make the object a class. So it's important to recognize that this accessor property is different from accessor method. Now we can give a JavaScript object class like accessors by using a function as a value, but that doesn't make the object a class. So that's different. Just because it's an accessor property doesn't mean it's an accessor method. It's just a property inside an object. So an accessor property has the following attributes: get, a function called with an empty argument list to retrieve the property value whenever a get access to the value is performed. See also getters, may be undefined. So this get is a function. It's actually a function that is called with an empty argument to retrieve a value of a key inside an object. Set, a function called with an argument that contains the assigned value. So this function, on the other hand, is not empty, but instead has the assigned value, executed whenever a specified property is attempted to be changed. See also setters, and may be undefined as well. Enumerable, a Boolean value indicating if the property can be enumerated by a for-in loop. See also enumerability and ownership of properties for how enumerability interacts with other functions and syntaxes. Configurable, a Boolean value indicating if the property can be deleted, can be changed to a data property. So here we have an accessor property that also return a Boolean, true or false, if it can be interchanged to a data property and can have its attributes changed. The prototype of an object points to another object or to null. So the prototype with the same as prototype pattern can point to another object or to null. So what is null? Is the absence of value. It's conceptually a hidden property of the object, commonly represented as prototype. Properties of the object's prototype can also be accessed on the object itself. Objects are ad hoc key value pairs, so they are often used as maps. However, there can be ergonomics, security, and performance issue. Use a map for storing arbitrary data instead. The map reference contains a more detailed discussion of the pros and cons between plain objects and maps to storing key value associations.